Hello, everybody, and welcome to History/Law Bite number 208, dated March the 10th, 2021. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. This History/Law Bite is entitled ExParte McCardle, 74 U.S. 506, 1869. ExParte McCardle was a landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision that addressed the subject of Congress's power to withdraw appellate jurisdiction from the Supreme Court. Congress's power to do so is specifically contained within Article 3, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution, which I will read. Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution reads as follows: in all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers and consuls, and those in which a state shall be a party, the Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction. In all the other cases before mentioned, the Supreme Court shall have appellate jurisdiction, both as to law and fact, with such exceptions and under such regulations as the Congress shall make. So, Congress is given virtually unlimited power to regulate the appellate jurisdiction of the U.S. Supreme Court, whereas the original jurisdiction of the court is contained within the Constitution itself. A point emphatically made in the case of Marbury versus Madison some 60 plus years earlier. All right. But Congress has the power to regulate the court's appellate jurisdiction as it sees fit. So in ExParte McCardle, we see William McCardle, a man obviously very discontented with Reconstruction, printing various sorts of incendiary and inflammatory material attacking congressional Reconstruction policy. So as such, he was jailed by the military authorities in the South under the Military Reconstruction Act of 1867. All right. McCardle challenged his imprisonment via a habeas corpus petition in the circuit court in Mississippi, the U.S. Circuit Court. All right. But the judge returned him to custody, holding that the military's actions were perfectly constitutional. Petition denied. So that being said, McCardle took an appeal to the Supreme Court of the United States under congressional enactment, allowing it to hear appeals regarding the denial of habeas petitions. All right. So McCardle would argue that his imprisonment violated his Fifth Amendment constitutional rights, specifically to liberty against, violation of due process of law. All right. No person should be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, as contained in the Fifth Amendment. After the case was argued before the U.S. Supreme Court, however, Congress, seeing the writing on the wall in all likelihood, immediately withdrew the Supreme Court's appellate jurisdiction to decide the case, thus removing the court's jurisdiction to pass judgment on its merits. No court, not even the Supreme Court, can hear and decide a case that falls outside of its jurisdiction. Okay? So, with that in mind, the Supreme Court had to focus on two issues. First and foremost, the original issue of the case, whether or not McCardle's imprisonment violated his Fifth Amendment rights. And number two, did Congress have the authority to withdraw appellate jurisdiction from the Supreme Court, essentially as this case has already been argued? The Supreme Court ruled in a unanimous opinion via Chief Justice Simon P. Chase that Congress absolutely positively had the authority via Article 3, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution to withdraw appellate jurisdiction from the Supreme Court at any time. Okay? Chase, however, made it crystal clear as well that Congress's subsequent withdrawal of jurisdiction from the court did not in any way affect the previous jurisdiction that the court had exercised, thus the ability to hear the case in the first place. All right. So with that in mind, as the court had no authority, jurisdiction rather, to pass judgment on the case, Congress having withdrawn that jurisdiction, the court had no choice but to dismiss the case. All right. And thus the second issue over whether or not McCardle's imprisonment violated his Fifth Amendment rights was not addressed here. Okay? Thus, he had no recourse to challenge that imprisonment further in federal court. All right? The case was thus dismissed, as I said. So the holding of the court here, essentially in Ex parte McCardle, the long-lasting effect of this decision was that Congress may withdraw appellate jurisdiction of any kind from the Supreme Court anytime it wishes. All right? Congress possesses the exclusive power to withdraw appellate jurisdiction from the U.S. Supreme Court at any point. That authority comes from Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. All right? This decision gained a lot of attention around 20 years ago when the Supreme Court was hearing the legality of the Guantanamo detainees during the Bush administration around the years of 2004, 5, and 6. You know, whether the court possessed the authority to hear these cases, you know, when Congress had significantly limited the ability of the detainees to file habeas petitions. All right. And Justice Scalia, in his dissent from the case of Hamilton versus Rumsfeld in 2006, emphasized the position from Ex parte McCardle that having withdrawn the jurisdiction from Supreme Court to hear the habeas appeals, all right, the court essentially should simply dismiss the cases because they don't have the authority to hear it. And I'd like to emphasize the point that no court, not even the Supreme Court, can hear a case that falls outside of its jurisdiction. Okay? So that is Ex parte McCardle, 74 U.S. 506, 1869. Once again, the holding: Congress possesses the constitutional power to regulate the Supreme Court's appellate jurisdiction as it sees fit. And as such, Congress may withdraw appellate jurisdiction from the U.S. Supreme Court at any time. Okay? So I thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope you learned a thing or two from it. If you liked the video, drop me a like. All right? I would appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so now. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Just hit that little red subscribe button and we'll be in business. Okay? If you'd like to donate financially to my channel, you know, making these videos is more work than it appears. There are links provided on the main page to do so. I appreciate all of your support more than you'll ever know. All right. Thanks again for listening, folks. Take care. Stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you at the next bite. Peace.